And here I have done this quilting project with a beautiful blendable cotton and 12 weight. And I'd like to mention at this time that the blendable cotton comes in a variation of color, and the color is blended from every 2 to 5 inches, so you get a more dramatic color faster when you're stitching. And as you can see, this is such a beautiful blending from one color to the next color to the next color, so that you can see every one of your stitches. And it just is so pleasing to the eye, and it is so unusual to see this, because as a rule, quilting is done with light color on light color, and they don't usually quilt with a color. But I've done another quilt, pillow top, that I use just the solid color, and the solid color really does unusual effect also. And you can tell that it's just up to you as how you want your quilting to burst onto your pillow when you put it on your bed. And I've just had so much fun hand quilting. When I finish with my hand quilting, then I'd like to show you some other little things. I have also needlepunch, and we have a needlepunch project over here, and I know that there are a lot of people that like to do hand needlepunch, and it's very, very rewarding. You do it with a needlepunch tool like I have here, and you do it from the reverse side. One of the great things that I like about needlepunch is you have this little gizmo here that you put your spools of thread on, and it helps you pull it out in a nice even line. Now, as a general rule, if you were using embroidery floss, you would be separating your strands like so and pulling on it, and then this is what you would have. When you have a tool like this, a spool of your 12 weight thread, you just have one continuous line, and you don't have to worry about cleaning up a mess when you're finished. I have a lot of cross stitch that is done. You can see here the cross stitch. We have tins that the cross stitch was done with a single strand, and then they were inserted in the top of tins, and these are coasters that we have here. In front of me I have Redwork, and there are a lot of you that enjoy Redwork and blue work, and so I would like to show you a technique that I really love, because what happens with this technique, it's called the padded running stitch. And this padded running stitch is also, the directions are in our embroidery book, so that you can read through there and further understand how to do it. But I'm going to show it to you today. What I like about that, as you can see, is how well that this stitch stands out. You can see that it gives 3 dimension, and it's thicker, and it's not just like a running stitch, and it's not just like a regular padded stitch. And I'd like to show you how to do that. I'm going to use 1 strand of 12 weight, and if you want it thicker, you can go with 2 strands. I'd like to put it in an embroidery hoop, and I love these wooden embroidery hoops. I like a smaller one because I like to be able to grab a hold and have my fingers run and push from the underside. Again, as you've noticed, on this one I've put the Sulky soft and sheer on the inside, because if I want to drag across, then I won't see any shadowing from the front side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a small enough embroidery hoop that I can push with my thumb or my finger on the inside. I want the hoop to be a little bit slack. I'm not going to hoop it really tight. Then I'm going to do a running stitch. I'm going to push from the bottom side, push, pull, push, pull. And it's going to come through like so. All right, now this line, as you see, that's already been pre-printed for here, this line is already padded. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to cover it up. I'm going to use my thumb to hold that thread out of my way. I'm going to come and make a stitch crosswise like so. I'm going to pick up the stitch, the running stitch underneath, and wrap this stitch around that one so that it will cover up my running stitch. And what it does is it pads that stitch So it makes it thicker and bolder, and it wants to stand out. And you can do this all over. As you can see, it's covering up the stitches that I've done previously. And it makes this stitch raised, and it makes it a very, very attractive stitch for Redwork. What I'd like to also tell you that is all of our red thread is color safe, and it will not run. So this is another good point for our red threads. I have to the right of me a project that's in our new stabilizer supplement book, and we have a really wonderful felting project in there that I've done an awful lot of handwork on. And this is a felted bowl, and again I've made the tassel out of the 12 weight, and I've used 4 strands again. You can see there's 4 strands, but this time I have a larger eye needle and a longer needle because I'm going to be going through the thickness of all this felting. You can see all the running stitches that I have. I felted this, and then I want to enhance it, so what I'm going to do is just go along my design and do a really heavy running stitch, and you can see how well that shows up even on this heavy felting. I have another felted bowl here that I've done the chain stitch on, and I've made these little tassels and sewn all of the beads. And I've done some hand stitching on a felted vest that I've done. It's on a knit sweater type felted vest. It has machine and handwork, and you can see the directions for this on our new updated supplement to our stabilizer book. I'm Carol Ingram, and thank you for watching.